just bought over at the grocery store. This one is 3 1/3 pounds, and I've got some pickling salt, or you could use kosher salt or regular iodized salt. And what we're going to do is brine this, and we'll just put some salt on here. And you can see how much I put on, not a whole lot, because we're going to add salt for the next few days to pull out all the liquid. And this is dill weed. If you can find it, it's great to put on fresh dill and let that impart some flavors. And then we're going to put this in the refrigerator for a day, and then tomorrow we'll pull it out, pour off the liquid, and we'll add more salt to it. So we'll take a look at it. Well, here it is now, 24 hours later, and let's take a look at Mr. Salmon. You'll notice in the bottom all the liquid that has accumulated, and that's the salt drawing the liquid from the salmon. So we're just going to pour this off, and then this is 2 tablespoons of salt. I didn't say that yesterday, but we're just going to put this on here, and then we'll cover this back up and let it go for another 24 hours. And here we are at day 3, and here's Mr. Salmon, and we can see how much liquid the salt has pulled out, and also the flesh is getting firm now. So we're going to just pour this out. And I leave the skin on these so that it stays moister. That's in my opinion. We're going to refresh it a bit and put some fresh water on here and let the salmon sit in here to take out some of that surface salt. It doesn't need to be that salty. Well, our salmon now has been refreshed in cold water. It's soaked for about a half hour, and I dried it, and then I put a little bit more dill weed on there, and the dill weed looks good after it's smoked, where it has dark edges on it. So we'll let this go here for about an hour, and then we'll get ready for the smoker in the meantime. So here's the salmon that's been drying to form that pellicle for about an hour and 10 minutes. And then as long as we're going to be smoking something, I've got a part of a pork butt here, and then some salt. So I'm going to have smoked salt, and this is what I'm using here, and it's a coarse grain. So we'll put all that in here. So here we have our cast iron frying pan with the wood chunks in it, and the smoke will go over on this 2 pieces of 4-inch stovepipe, and then into the cabinet where we have the salmon, salt, and pork butt, and you can see it's really smoky. We'll probably leave this in here for about 6 hours. The pork butt will not be cooked, it'll be raw, like raw salmon. Smoked salmon is basically brined and smoked fish. So I'll put the pork roast after it's been smoked in a crock pot and leave it in there overnight. And what we're using for fuel here are chunks of wood. This is pecan, and these are it's really compressed sawdust. You can buy this at Home Depot and Lowe's, and they're just little granules, looks like rabbit pellets. And then here's apple smoking chips, and you can buy these also at even the grocery store. So we'll just keep an eye on this and put the timer on and see how it does in about 6 hours. There are many ways to get cold smoke onto the salmon. When I first started to do this, I actually hung a big cardboard box from a ladder, and I had this old smoky under it, and let the smoke just waft up, and it was a nice cold, cool smoke, and it did the salmon well. Okay, it's 6 hours, and it's Still smoking away a bit. And here's what it looks like. And there's the salmon, and the second shelf is salt and that pork butt. And then I have a ham. I decided to re-smoke it and put a glaze on it for Christmas. So we're about ready to take this out. Well, here now are the 2 salmon fillets. This is Chilean salmon, Pacific salmon, farm raised from the grocery store. Fresh, not frozen. If it is frozen, the salmon could be mushy. And you can see the salt I smoked. The top is all nice and tan. It picked up all that smoke, but the bottom still in there is white. So we'll cut these in half, and we'll put them in aluminum foil. We can freeze them, give them to friends at Christmas, and that's the way I do smoked salmon lox.